bloop. Hello.
Bloop bloop.
Bloop, bloop.
If you guys
Hi.
missed the slowly spinning animation on the preparing to play or getting ready for D&D screen, then you missed out because that's cool.
Then you're gonna have to tune in next week before it starts.
Or like quickly clip now so it's still in the real thing. Anyway,
I had much as assume my brain wasn't working in the background. Should it be moving?
I had the exact same reaction. I saw it and I was like, "Is that like an optical illusion?"
Yeah,
Like,
when I made it, I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have to slow this down quite a lot because it's gonna be very like brain warpy otherwise."
I was just staring at it like, no, well, I'm going to watch this line and see if this line moves at all
Yeah.
in relation to the corner. And then it did. And I was like, oh, Jenny, when did you do this?
You should have more than one. You should have some that don't move at all, so that everyone looks at it and goes, "Is that moving? I can't tell."
What's happening?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I hope you had a lovely week or however long since the last time I saw you. We're going to play some D&D today. We left off at a bit of a
Moment.
cliffhanger, weirdly, and we're going to do our prompts for today. I've selected them in advance because I was a little bit more prepared today, and these ones are both from viewers from our wonderful community. Seems odd to say viewers since we kind of know you all you guys so well. So the prompts that we're using today are, one is from Grace and one is from Canuck. I've scrolled too far and now it's gone away. We've got the original question is, what odd/uncommon skill do you think your character would be interested in learning given the opportunity? But I think we can probably stretch that to just what skill if you can't think of an odd or an uncommon one. And I mean, you could stretch that to, it can be something outside of adventuring if you'd like. It can be something that doesn't need to be adventuring related. And how does your character handle being in a bad mood? So thank you very much to Grace and Canuck for submitting those prompts. If you fancy submitting prompts, there is a command in chat that one of our dedicated prompt people will put in.
Prompt mods.
Oh, so close. So close.
Oh.
Damn it, I had that type for so long. I had that type for so long, and I couldn't remember if it was a prompt or prompt.
So close. So close. So we'll do those, but thank you very much to people who've been submitting. We've actually got a couple from last week as well, which are really good. And I've had a bit of a look at the spreadsheet and we've got some great questions. So thank you very much. So last week we were still plodding around this massive graveyard outside of Ankhspear, and we're here because we want to try and find the grave of Ansia the Paranoid, someone who is kind of thought to maybe potentially be part of the Obaskir royal family from deep in their history. However, it is still a bit of a mystery, and that is why Albert Humpledink has hired our party to come and support himself as he plods around this, or pokes around this tomb in the hopes that we find some evidence that perhaps he is part of was part of the royal Obaskir family of Cormyr. Unfortunately, whilst poking around, a couple of things have happened. First off, we pressed a button that closed the front door after we came inside. That was a bit of a no-no. After realizing that the button had scrawled in Draconic the words "God fucking damn it." We've also learned that Haiku has this unquenchable urge to press all buttons, especially these very satisfying stone ones that seem to fit just perfectly in place. After poking around in this catacomb, this burial mound, we found some fancy cups, some fancy plates, but also traps up the wazoo, including these sarcophagi that appear to have some kind of trap mechanism on them, some cogs and mechanisms that appear to be that if something triggered somewhere, they would open. Although after opening them, we don't know what happens. On the inside, we saw a perfect replica of somebody who we'd previously seen carrying the button. There was a statue outside that was carrying the first button that was pressed, the one that closed the front door, who was this very regal-looking gentleman with what you can only assume is blonde hair. I realise now that it's a stone statue. It probably wasn't coloured. That was swept to the side, short on one, with very kind of sharp jawline and regal features. And one of those people, a replica of that person, was pristine inside the sarcophagus. Oro and Haiku have been going around undoing all of the traps that they can find. But unfortunately, we had an unlucky roll with one of the traps in the next room that we came into that set off and started spewing black smog into the halls, and it just started expanding and expanding, never seeming to cease. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to be having any kind of issues with your respiratory system. It's not been doing any damage or causing you any harm. But it has been making it almost impossible to see. Whilst you were running away from this encroaching black smog, you noticed that there is a couple of tiles on the floor in the hallway that fell out from underneath you, almost claiming the life of Randall. But fortunately, you realize that first off, there's a button that seems to fix that and bring the step back. Although I suppose that all that does really is hide the trap. But also we had Randall going around with a quarterstaff or walking stick, poking the floor to trigger the traps after falling in one. You also notice that the corridor that you're currently in seems to have some grooves either side at the base of the wall. And it seems to be leading and drop into some kind of area at the end of the corridor, but it doesn't seem to go anywhere. It's kind of a bit confusing. After this, we had Haiku press a button, yeah, which I'm pointing to on the screen, yeah, which unfortunately closed a door directly behind Haiku and Oro, who were trapped, separated from the other party members. Directly underneath Haiku, you can see that we've now given our GIF friend Albert a token, and he's very sexy.
You said that so matter of fact, I didn't even process what I was saying.
That's just... He's very sexy.
He's very sexy.
This is because I couldn't find many GIF tokens, but also because he's trying to impress Neurali, which is why he's actually probably back here in the marching order, because he was originally next to Neurali. Probably didn't want to make a jump over a death pit. And
not with a towel on like that.
You think he wouldn't
Also-
even for Neurali?
I mean, possibly, but it's a pretty tight corridor. So, but also, like, there's just black smog everywhere, and we've made it pretty clear up to this point that Albert is not an adventurer.
Yeah.
Albert is a scholar, and for now, we're going to say that he's probably made the executive decision to not follow the party members into the blackness over a bunch of spiky death pits. Sound about right? Sound about right. Okay, so we start today's session with Oro and Haiku on the other side of a door, which unfortunately is not super obvious for you, I don't think, because I'm using dynamic lighting. But what I can do is put this on the map layer instead. Oh no, it's on the it's on the token layer. The red line. Yeah. There you go, red line. That's what you're looking at. I think I copied it on the dynamic layer. Yeah, I did. Okay, good job, Pass Tom. Okay, yeah, so that's where we will be starting. But first, we'll do our prompts. But also say hello to everyone that's been coming into the chat since I started doing the little cheeky recap.
Hello. Bye, Malka.
How's everyone doing? How's Malka off? Goodbye, Malka.
Have a good D&D.
Have a good D&D.
Bye now.
Have food. Have food.
Have food.
Have food. Okay, right. So, we're starting from the top this time because I'm pretty sure I started from the bottom last time.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
And now we're here. Neurali, what odd/uncommon skill, or just skill in general? Maybe the question should be a bit more like, what non-adventuring skill or rare skill would you pick up, given the opportunity?
I think, does being like a full-on like apothecary count as like an adventuring skill? Because she's got a pretty good background in like foraging and stuff like that, and I feel like she would take great joy in really like apprenticing herself to like a master apothecary and becoming like a serious herbalist.
Do you think she's related to Honu?
I think a little bit, yeah. Or instead of relating, more just like seeing them be able to like take these like seemingly random ingredients and put them together and make something that could save somebody's life when she has the ability to like heal but couldn't help, right? So
Okay, that's cool. I like that answer.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you think she had any kind of apothecary or herbalist experience back in the old days?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Part of like going off with Priscilla was like foraging for food, but like supplies.
Okay, cool. And how does your character handle being in a bad mood? What does nerdy in a bad mood look like?
Oh, I think she'd be very like quiet and like inwardly grumpy.
Right.
And then if someone tried to like interact with her, she probably would just be like short but polite. But then if they started trying to like bother her, I feel like that's when she would like have like a little tiny bit of like a snap at them. And
But
then
that's
feel
the
really
best.
bad. Yeah, then feel really bad about it. And like probably apologize, and then if they were still mean, then she'd probably yell at them.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Haiku, how about you with the skill? What skill do you think your character would be interested in learning, giving opportunity?
Something like sewing or knitting.
Oh, okay.
I think they can't do it now due to a lack of dexterity. Total fingers aren't designed for knitting. But I think when it comes to like tinkering and crafting, that's like the last thing they need to learn, essentially.
I like the idea that Haiku has seen maybe Neroli do some darning or whatever of whatever, and has seen that and been so jealous and just not been brave enough to ask for help in learning it. Maybe Haiku in the future builds themselves an extension for their gauntlet that helps them.
Yeah, well, that'd be too easy though, wouldn't it?
Okay. And what does Haiku look like in a bad mood? How do they handle it?
Well, first of all, I think it would take a lot to put them in a bad mood. I would imagine quite snappy, and then if it went so far, be silence. That's when you know they're pissed off.
Oh, they go from snappy to silent.
Quiet, yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So if Haiku's ever dead silent, you know that you're in the shit house.
Pretty much.
It's a bad time. Okay, cool. Randall, what kind of? I was looking at this list of questions earlier, and one of them was something like, why is your character named the thing that they are named? Like, what is it that made you choose that name for your character? And I was like, I wonder if Docs chose Randall just because they can say Randall.
Spoilers.
So what skill do you think that Randall would pick up?
I think Randall would pick up beekeeping.
No way.
Because in like when they're in the monastery, they don't have a huge amount of exciting food, and maybe like a sweet treat is something special, and being able to keep bees and get honey would be like providing that back to himself or other people, maybe if they're lucky.
I'd say that it could also maybe be quite like a calming hobby, but also I don't know that much about beekeeping, so maybe it's not calming at all. Maybe it's really intense all the time.
No, have you not seen that person that just like scoops up bees?
Oh, I fucking love those videos. I really love those videos because I know that for the most part, like if you get them in the right circumstances, they can be extremely chill.
Yeah, just
but
like,
also there's still a fair amount of being stung even when they're chill as fuck. How does Randall handle being in a bad mood?
I think he gets really like closed off, and maybe like if we're walking somewhere, he'll be like behind everyone or out in front, just like tries to get away from other people and just inwardly reflect or stew or something.
Okay. So we've got Quiet Neurally, Snappy Haiku, and Quiet Randall. I love the idea.
Haiku is quiet first too, though, right? So like
No,
no one's ever
eventually.
gonna know.
Haiku
quiet.
is Snappy, then quiet.
Okay.
Starts off snappy, gets quiet. I want to know what Jenny says, but additionally, I really love the idea that there's some event during camp or something. You'll just wake up in a really shitty mood for some reason, and then they'll walk to the next part of the adventure. It's just all of you in dead silence, apart from Haiku just snapping at people occasionally. Okay. Oro,
Yeah.
what skill do you think you'd be interested in learning, given the opportunity?
Okay, I've written down. They're not as cool as anyone else's. I've written down to moonwalk or to beatbox. And also juggling. I feel like maybe Oro has learnt everything else in the circus, but she never learn how to juggle because that wasn't like normal ball juggling. She can like juggle with like knives, but like normal ball juggling is like I don't know
what to do with it.
If this isn't gonna cut me, I don't know how to throw it.
Yep.
That's a great answer. I love that. First of all, I love the idea of moonwalking. That's hilarious. I also really love the idea that you can juggle everything but juggling
but just normal
balls.
juggling balls.
That's so good. That's so good. Okay, right. That's so good. How does your character handle being in a bad mood?
Well, Oro's pretty young. She's 18, so I feel like her way of dealing with like really extreme moods are quite typical of like a kid still. So I think she'd just like cross her arms, go into a huff, and like proper make it known that she's in a bad mood, and like moving her like shoulders and like exhaling really loudly and making it known that she's pissed off, and she's gonna sit somewhere quietly with her arms crossed for the next hour until someone pays attention to her again.
That's so good. Just like walking past a bin and kicks it and that kind of thing. Like
yeah, for no reason. Yeah.
Fucking hell. That was great. All right.
Well, you're the only one anyone's gonna know is angry.
Yeah.
Until, like at first, immediately.
You might notice a little while after the second or third snap from Haiku, which is a bit uncharacteristic. But with Oro, it's instant grump.
Yeah.
I love that. That's fantastic. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for doing the prompts. Thank you to Kanaka Canada and Grace for submitting your prompts. Those were really good. Okay. Let's get back to business. I will mention one more thing that I forgot to bring up in the recap, and that was after tinkering with some of the sarcophagi here, you heard some quite loud stomping outside and some explosions of stone against dirt. As you recall, the graveyard angel that is tasked with defending the tombs and whatnot of this graveyard is quite annoyed with you. They appear to have, at least the sounds appear to have stopped, but they ended very close to the entryway. You mentioned last time that you were under the assumption that the graveyard angel is too big to get inside, and that would be accurate, but that doesn't mean they aren't outside and very angry. So I guess we'll find out what happens with that.
Leave. We just live here now.
Oh, Katie. Katie being a good egg.
Thank you, Katie.
Welcome.
Okay, so we will start today's session. We have a split party, which is often not great, but I think we'll have some fun. I think it'll be
also
all right.
not by choice.
Well, I mean, it was accidental, but it was still also somewhat purposeful because the button was pressed, and that was a purposeful button pressing. Okay. Anyway, you've found your final destination, a giant, weird, trapped mausoleum. Exactly.
Yay.
This is where
Our forever home.
this
This is where all adventurers end up someday.
Yeah,
is that what you're gonna say?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Adventurers all end up in a trapped mausoleum at some point, and it's just whether or not you get out of it.
That's
Sounds
what makes
absolutely
the difference.
perfect.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with kind of just free form. We're not going to switch between parties at the moment. The door has come behind you, and slot.
I always forget about it. I went out and bought the thing and painted it, and then I keep forgetting to stick it in whatever crown I'm wearing.
It's the doors come down, and you guys are separated. The wall is not so impenetrable that you can't hear each other muffledly through the wall. It's a fairly thin sheet of stone, but it is stone. There are a couple of cracks and crevices, though unfortunately for you, the smog does not appear to be coming through. So this door has come down. You've pressed the button a couple more times just to see if you could undo it. Undo, abort. But unfortunately, nothing happened. The only thing you realize is that by pressing that button is you are locking and unlocking the doors to the north and south of you. That is Oro and Haiku. Those doors are open, and you can interact with them any way you like. But the rest of the party, that is Nurli, Randall, Ruggit, Nugget, and Albert, are trapped on the other side in pitch black at the moment. So what do you want? You want to just express how your characters are feeling in this particular situation?
Just continued screaming, banging on the door. Are you guys okay?
Please, whilst you're talking to someone on the other side of the door, do this.
You guys okay? I think so.
Okay.
You can't see anything.
Do you have the light? You've got the light bushes. The bushes are light.
Yeah, but the fog is
it's
the
really
light's not burning.
smoky.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I cast the light cantrip on the end of my wand. Is it like when you have like headlights in fog and it just like doesn't help? It just like lights up the darkness around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, we can't open this door. Hold on. I guess we just go into these rooms and hope that there's something in them.
IQ's trying very hard to not like outwardly panic quite a lot at this point.
Oh god. Okay. Then Oro's gonna
What
obviously.
does that look like?
Yeah.
Very fidgety.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then, if Oro notices that, Oro's gonna be like, "Okay, but we'll be fine. Everything is okay. We can handle this." Okay. Let's go into one of the rooms, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So these guys have decided they're going to go explore some of the other rooms. There's a question in chat about why is Haiku covered in spinach, but it might be doo-doo.
I'll move it off.
Do you want to explain what it is?
Well, it's as you can see by the spinach icon, it's a glowing stone.
Obviously.
So Haiku can make objects sort of imbued with a bit of magic and make them glow.
And I couldn't, for some reason, find. I was struggling to move tokens onto the game last time that we played, and I couldn't find anything that would work apart from a bush. For some reason, the bush worked, but the torches weren't working. But here we are. We've got glowing bushes now. Despite everything, we're going to focus now on the people who haven't decided what they're going to do yet. If you're talking to each other, you don't have to do this, but you guys...
Do we have to do this instead because it's smoke? We probably shouldn't move because of, the big holes in the floor and the lack of vision.
Yeah, I think that's best. I'm trying to think. Wait. I know that there was one that's right behind me and it's still open, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna start using prestidigitation to try to like fan the smoke downwards because I can do gusts of wind.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna try to see if I can, like, I've got nothing else to do, right?
Sure.
And I can get 3 of them active at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So just like
3 winds.
repeated triple gusts of wind, just trying to like funnel the smoke down into that hole.
So I can tell you now, that you can do that, and what it will do is it will give you just enough vision to see the other side. The smog does seem to be refilling, but temporarily it seems to be giving you enough. Basically, this smog seems to be filling just about every crack and crevice without kind of discrimination, and that does appear to also be further down into this pit here.
Okay.
But you do seem like you make enough of a gust that you can see the other side, and that would be enough for someone else to jump over, or for yourself if you wanted to. Additionally, you do have Nugget with you, who at the moment is clawing very, very worriedly at the stone door, just trying desperately to kind of pull open the tiles underneath to try and make, the hole that will allow them to get to the other side where Oro is. And Oro, you can hear that, by the way. But Oro flies and can climb across the walls and stuff.
Nugget flies and can climb across
Nugget
the walls. Oh, by the way.
Never said I was good with words. Never said I was good with words.
Oh, you're good with words. It's not all of them.
Good with words when I can write them down in advance.
Ora's gonna try and say some like comforting words to Nugget to get them to stop clawing at the door, if that helps. But it probably won't help.
You're gonna say what? Sorry. Some calming words.
Nugget, it's fine. Don't worry. We're totally safe. Everything's good. Nothing to worry about. It's fine.
Scratch.
It's fine. It's okay.
Do you want to tell Nugget what they should be doing?
I don't really know what they should be doing. I mean,
Deep breaths.
Deep breath. Get the paper bag out and start breathing into that and just hope for the best.
Jump down the hole. Jump into the hole. This is the voice of reason. Don't worry about it. Did
Evan sell one of his mustaches to Rugget? The evil Nugget. Oh my god.
I need that as a sound command. I quite like that idea as a sound command. If you guys haven't seen, Jenny has added some like bit reward things that you can do as a widget. If you give bits, you can get. They're not
on this overlay, but they will be in a second.
Oh, they're not. Okay.
To do that.
Because she's added "see you later, fuckers" onto it, which is excellent. And sports. The sports on the chat one as well, because there's like one chat one, or there was yesterday.
Yes, there is one.
There's one. You can spend your chat points on D6s for the players or sound alerts.
It's a hard choice.
Anyway. Okay. So Nugget is still kind of worriedly at the door, but not necessarily kind of scratching so much. If you've made an attempt to try and calm Nugget down, Nugget's not smart enough to continue being worried.
How dare you?
So Nugget's going to kind of chill a little bit, but like sit quietly, patiently at the bottom of the door until told to do otherwise.
Okay.
By someone they trust. So not Albert. So you guys Nerida, you've discovered that you can do some gusts.
Yeah, I think that's good for her to know, but I don't think there's anything immediately actionable she can do with that. So I think she's kind of just waiting to see what Oro and Haiku come up with when they look around in there. Because they said something about looking around, I think, through the door.
Sure. Okay. All right, well, in which case, what do you guys want to do on the other side of the wall? Where do you want to go? What room are you going to explore?
Which one first, Haiku?
I mean, I can just about see into the bottom of the room to the south of us, so we might as well go into that one first.
Okay.
Peek into it.
Feel free to move your token.
Peek into it safely, cautiously, with
carefully.
Caution, careful.
Yeah, so the cautious peek.
So in here, though the map only has one box, you can see that there are several storage boxes. One or two of them are open. There are a couple of smaller ones that are on shelves in front of you. Here you can also see that there are several kind of wrenches, also maybe a screwdriver or two. There's a small set of rudimentary tools that are covered in kind of, I say covered in. There's a dusting of small old spider webs, just because it is a very old and dusty place. I'm saying that to say that don't worry, I'm not going to put spiders in my game. It's just there because it's old. Okay. And as you look around with
I appreciate that.
as you look around with your torchstone, you can see that some of these other containers, like the ones that are still open, you can see that some of them are still closed, seem to have cogs in them. And you recognize that parts of these appear to be things that you've seen in the mechanisms that were for the other traps that you've seen so far.
Can we check now, or can Haiku check the other boxes? Like
Sure.
open them?
Yeah. Fireball. No, you just kind of open the wooden chest that's, very frail and old, and it kind of creaks open, and you slam the wood against the back of the wall. And you notice that it does appear to just be components, tons and tons of components. One of the boxes in here has 20 arrows in them, though. There is a small container that has 20 arrows in them. You can see that they are particularly well made. The shine on the steel tip has not dulled at all. But apart from that, this appears to just be some kind of maintenance room, as if there was some kind of the person or the people that made this planned on having to keep the traps up to date, making sure they're still working.
I'm gonna lean over to Orogo. Should we take some of these? I mean, I feel like they might be useful.
Aura's already putting some in her backpack. Yes, we should definitely take these.
The cogs or the arrows?
Everything.
The wrench in there.
Yeah, you don't know. We're trapped in
I'm going to grab some of the tools, sorry.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
And some of the cogs as well.
Many of these will be duplicates for you, apart from what the tools will be at least, or something that you could duplicate yourself very easily.
It's not possible to have duplicate tools. It's not.
We've got a first-time chat viewer. This is, hi, I just got here. Who are the characters? Do a very, very brief introduction if you'd like. Just a quick one since we're at the beginning of the game.
Let's go.
Should we start with Nerily at the top?
Hi, Nerily. I'm Katie Quixotic, and I'm playing Nerily, who is a half-elf and sorcerer who is very sweet and likes helping people.
Haiku? Listen, you should have seen that
coming. Jackman Banshee in chat, sometimes known as Jack. I play Haiku, who's a total artificer who likes collecting things.
Got some good, brief and concise descriptions coming out of these guys. Doxy Slatterandle.
I'm the real Dox5 in chat, or Dox5 everywhere else. And I'm playing Randall, who is a human monk who likes collecting things, but only where things are stories.
Jenny.
I'm Jenny, or Sleepiest. I'm playing Oro the Goblin, who collects some things sometimes. Depends whether she's trapped in a room or not.
Collects skulls of her fallen foes. Okay, so you guys have pilfered all that you can find in here. You've do you want to collect? Do you want to take all of the arrows, or are you?
Do they look specifically like just normal arrows, or are they?
I mean, for the most part, they look like the shaft and the fletching look normal, but the tip itself is in a pristine condition considering its circumstances.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so there are 20 of those.
Okay.
And if you use these arrows, much like those Dragon Slayer arrows I gave you a million years ago, you'll need to count them and make sure that you are aware of using them specifically. Okay. And if you want to spend some time trying to identify what's different about them, you can do that during a short rest or a long rest if you like. Okay. What team?
The other room.
Yeah, I should check the other room out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pass through this small kind of antechamber that's got the statue in there. You can see there's still completely nothing's changed. It's just still there, staring at you as you walk by. And you move into this next room to the north of you. You can see that this room, bizarrely, also has a sarcophagus in it, but appears to have more shelves lining the walls that are covered in cutlery. There are sporks, knives, forks, spoons. There are, but they all appear to be made of silver, and you can see spikes. But you can see that some of them. I mean, the array of cutlery in here appears to be that you would expect at like a very fancy 5-course dinner. Like, you know, there's like soup spoons compared to normal spoons. There are teaspoons as well. There are dessert forks and normal forks. You can see that there are kind of candlestick holders in here as well as a couple of candles. And it's all kind of oddly shaped in this room around with this one sarcophagus and tucked away in the corner.
Okay, there's no like obvious button shaped objects.
There is no obvious button shape in here. No.
Just a cutlery and sarcophagus. Okay.
Yep. You can see that there is a door to the north, which is also somewhat ajar. You could push it open. I just haven't revealed it because I didn't want you to get overwhelmed with how much stuff is in front of you.
Okay.
Is the sarcophagus trapped?
You want to check it?
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be helping as well.
Sure. Get your advantage.
What do I need to roll?
Pristine condition. DM speak for magical. But it's either magical or like very fine or like expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use investigation if you'd like to get a little bit more hands-on. You can use perception if you'd like to just look from afar. And if you were to try to disarm any traps that you'd find, you would use your thieves' tools.
Okay, perception to look.
Okay, you can see that. I mean, you have advantage because you're being helped by Haiku, who is also, looking around to see if there are any anything that looks like a mechanism or a trap. But fortunately, you notice mostly because you've seen several of these sarcophagi dotted around, and you've seen they've all been trapped. You can tell that this one in particular also seems to have the same mechanism as all of the sarcophagi. However, there is another trap that has been tucked into this one. You can't decipher what exactly it will do, but it doesn't look like it doesn't look like it's an automated open close kind of deal.
Shit, there's 2 traps on this one.
2 traps.
So disarming the first trap might set off the second one.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Pick your trap adventure.
Oh shit, now you've said that, you've put the thoughts into my mind that this is a bad idea, but shall we disarm it or shall we not?
We'll disarm it.
Okay. Alright.
Because that didn't cause a problem last time.
So you're trying to disarm 2 traps or 1 trap at a time, or? 'Cause I'm gonna need a roll for both.
Well, can we disarm them both at the same time? Is that possible?
Well, I mean, are you gonna just do the one and then wait and be like, okay, we're good, or are you just gonna try and get rid of both of them now?
Oh, we're trying to get rid of both of them.
In which case, I would like, in total, 4 rolls for you because you've got advantage.
Could we not do one each?
Sorry, thank you, Evan, for the 100 bits, and for the "what you say, motherfucker" sound of that, which distracted my brain entirely from whatever you said, Jack.
What is that phrase? Do I read the room, Evan?
Thank you, Evan.
That was funny. You could do them individually if you'd like, but mechanically speaking, you would be getting advantage if you helped each other. If you do them individually, then you don't get advantage.
Okay, I was just thinking maybe a timing thing. If we could disarm them both at the same time, then if
that
one of them
could be
set
the way
off the other one, then they're both disarmed.
Well, if you wanted to do it, that could be contextually how you are helping one another.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to, we could just frame the help action in that context. You're going to try and make sure that you get rid of one trap whilst Ora does the other, so that if you both fail, it's a catastrophe.
That's the goal.
Okay, cool.
That's our brand.
All right, okay. Please, in which case, could you both give advantage rolls for your trap disarming?
Do we have any read on if this smoke is flammable?
Thieves' tool, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Ooh. Consistency is key.
It is.
Okay, so there is a satisfying click as you both use part of the thieves' tools to kind of like snip a particular wire or just lift a cog off of out of position of another cog, etc., to just remove the mechanism from play. And you kind of both look at each other like, yeah,
High five moment.
Yeah,
It's nice to be able to look at each other.
Bearing in mind, you're still kind of really only seeing thanks to the light of these stones that you've got carrying with you. So it's like this really difficult situation for you to properly disarm this trap. And other DMs would give you disadvantage, but I'm kind.
Remember that.
So you're
because soon it fucks us over.
Yeah.
So you're using this light to properly give you a better idea of what's going on. And at the same time, there's a click as you can kind of feel that this mechanism has been dislodged and both of the traps have been successfully disarmed. Whilst you were plodding around, you kind of noticed that one of them was definitely the auto-opening chamber. The other one appears to be in some way is kind of wired, as it were, into the wall again. But it has a couple of like small symbols and images that are drawn onto it that look like it was kind of part of the like construction of a reminder. This is what this does. And you try and kind of decipher what you can see. And this is for Haiku in particular, who, spending plenty of time tinkering, can recognize someone's shorthand for this is what this does. It looks a lot like if you triggered this trap, this room would be flooded from a reservoir of water in the ceiling above you.
Okay. I think it was a good idea to disarm this particular trap.
Why?
Well, I mean, the symbol would suggest at least that this room would flood, which with the door closed wouldn't end well.
Or tightens the thing on her waders. She's always wearing, apparently, now. Yeah,
That's fine, I can breathe underwater.
Yeah, it's perfect for you.
It's for a bit.
Yeah, it's perfect for you. Yeah.
Okay, now, before you, again, so the door above you is unlocked and you can see that it's slightly ajar because it is unlocked. And you can explore up there. What we'll do is we'll quickly go to our other team members. And I will briefly mention that if you stand here and wait for something to happen on the other side of the wall, you're going to be waiting for quite a while. You should probably do something else. Either that or I could have just let these guys get to a dead end and you guys realize that you should have been doing something this entire time. So for the sake of both my players, the viewers, and my own conscience, I'm not going to let you just sit here doing nothing.
Haiku has my quarterstaff. So,
That's awkward.
yeah. So,
And you've used both daggers, clogging.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, real good. I think I'll just try feeling around on the walls on the area like above where the pitfalls are to see if I can find any like switches, secret buttons, releases, anything like that.
Sure.
Did I see you using prestidigitation?
Can you see me?
Or that's a good point. Probably not. Never mind.
Did Nugget
Man.
see you? Because Nugget's got good vision.
Does Nugget have blind sight?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh,
Nugget,
that's
Nugget,
true.
Nugget's
Nugget's
perfectly
back.
aware. Yeah, Nugget's perfectly aware of what's going on.
Well, maybe if Nugget saw that Nerly was obviously fanning down into the vent, maybe he'd come and try and help and see if that encourages things to move a bit faster.
Yeah, we could say that's what's going on.
Okay.
So what you can, I mean, what you and Nugget, well, not Nerdy realizes after a while of Nugget helping, is that this is kind of not making a huge dent on the smog as a whole, but temporarily in this very fixed position, it is helping. It's making it very easy to see the other side now. With the help of Nugget, especially, you could make that jump.
Okay. Thanks, Nugget. I don't think we're making too much headway, but it'll at least help us jump across if we decide to go back that way.
Wait, was there a button that reset the trap?
There was
It
one that
reset-
reset the floor. I don't know
Maybe
if it
it
would.
resets the rest of it.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe there's something in there. I want
Do you
to
remember where it was?
roughly. I want to carefully try and go back and jump over here while I can see.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll keep fanning.
So I won't give you any
Prestidigitation.
disadvantages on this particular jump. In fact, I'm not going to ask you to make a roll for it because again, it's a small jump. You're athletic. You're an adventurer, but additionally,
I'm a monk, and
Yeah.
this is difficult terrain. Hop.
You can hear from the other side of the pit now because Albert can hear you coming in this direction. He goes,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this.
Just don't move. You'll be fine.
I can hear a squelching.
A squelching.
I
Is
can
it
hear
you?
a squelching.
Can I
That
hear
time
it?
has come and gone.
Oh,
It's a different squelching.
can I hear us? Can I hear it?
Roll a perception check.
Meanwhile, since I can see, I can hop over too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Nugget doesn't need even to make the jump. Nugget can just climb the wall.
Yeah. Also has blind sight, so I'll start fanning here now.
Sure.
Well, prestidigitationing.
You do not hear anything with an urban perception.
I can't hear it from over here. I'm coming over.
You can't hear what?
There's a scorching noise, and it feels like it's getting closer.
Can I listen to?
Sure.
19.
You can hear a very soft, very infrequent. Well, no, it's not that it's infrequent. It's that it's just very gradual, slow squelch. It sounds kind of just a little bit wet.
Does it sound like the thing that ate kawaii?
No.
Okay. I
It
hear
appears to be coming from the other side of Albert.
Mm-hmm. I can hear it, but I don't know what it is. Be careful, Randall.
Yeah, can I jump?
Yeah, easy peasy.
Boink.
Getting the fanning help from Nugget, you're all easily able to make it over here. And
Can I want to like use my hands and my quarterstaff to like feel my way into this room. Also paying
Sure.
attention to the squelching noise and if it's coming from the direction that I'm going in.
so the direction that you can hear the squelching noise appears to be the wall, or from the wall behind Albert. You can definitely
like
hear
where
the
the-
squelching noise now.
Right.
Now you're on this side of the pit, and that Nerdy's also pointed out, you can definitely hear the squelching noise.
Okay. Can I go? I want to go to that wall first. Like,
Slow, slightly wet squelch. Tom has such a way with words. Hey, Canuck. I don't know if this is the first time you've said hello in chat today, but hi, how you doing? Oh, there was a sports earlier. No, you've been here for a while. I'm just bad. Sorry. Nice to see you.
How
I don't know
could
if you were
you?
here. I don't know here if you
How could you?
we use one of your prompts at the beginning of the game. So you get what you've gone and put yourself between.
It's a
Nugget
bit cramped over here now.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I see? Is the wall moving? Is that what is squelching, or is it still? Because it moved.
Are you gonna,
before.
I mean, what are you going to put your hand against the?
Yeah, just like put my hand against it, see if it's like coming towards me, or
Okay, so
or if it's
you
wet.
put your hand up against the wall, and it appears to. I mean, it's not wet. It's very dry and
Good.
it's a wall.
Excellent.
But as you do so, even through the smog that fills the room, directly next to you, your hand, you feel a movement, and an eye opens, and then another eye on the other side of your hand, and it just blink, blink.
Take my hand away.
Look it in the eyes.
Yep. Can I, is it like something on the wall, or is it actually this thing that we thought was a wall is not a wall?
It is actually that this thing that you thought was a wall is not a wall.
This isn't a wall. Walls don't typically have eyes. I've heard that they've got ears, but this one has eyes.
It closes its eyes again.
It's
And
closed
you
its
can
eyes
hear
again.
that the squelch noise stops.
Well, that might be good or bad.
Can you just make walls that move?
It's some kind of creature that's moving through here, like a wall slug.
Can you talk to it?
Hello? Hey, can you talk to me, wall?
It appears to not respond to you.
Like talking to a brick wall.
Can I want to can I carefully put my hand back
Mhm.
and then do the eyes open again?
As you place your hand back and you wait patiently for a wall to open its eye.
Mhm.
It does not appear to.
Oh.
In fact, if you roll me a perception check with advantage. Can we be friends, wall? If these walls could talk. Who knew that there were so many wall-related phrases? Okay, you can feel that the wall is actually there's a slight tremor to it, almost as if it was extremely nervous.
Oh, it's a nervous wall.
Oh, shy. You just look down and see his hands are doing that.
Maybe it'll move if you ask it nicely.
Could you move back, please, wall? It would be very helpful.
Yeah, and kind of one eye opens up and kind of closes again. You hear a squelching noise start, and the wall appears to retreat somewhat.
That actually worked.
Wow, kindness is the answer. Wow.
Did it work?
I think so. It's moving backwards for now.
Can you go press the button now?
I think so. I can't remember where the button is. I'm gonna.
Lol.
I think it's in this room.
Sorry. sorry.
What on earth are you talking about, Katie?
I don't know. Why'd you laugh so hard?
Well played. So you want to get back into that room?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
You
like
can use your walking stick to kind of.
yeah, like
climb
and
down
so
the wall.
like go around like the outside edge to like avoid getting lost.
Yeah, no worries.
Because then there's this button here.
Yeah.
And maybe if I like waft carefully with my hand, I can read the thing, and it says like this one. I think.
In Draconic.
Oh, it has text scribbled above it that I
Yes,
don't
it does.
understand.
It does have text, yes.
But I'm pretty sure Haiku said that it said this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to press it.
Okay, you hear it as the plates are raised back outside on the floor. There is no sound at the door.
And it's still
Does
smoke.
the smoke stop?
No, because that was not triggered by the buttons.
Okay.
Yeah, but it might reset it as well. Well, didn't work. I'm out of
No, I
ideas.
mean,
Can't
actually,
panic.
that's a fair point. Actually, I think that, bearing in mind, I designed this dungeon, so I can make edits if I like, and I like that edit. I think that's a good idea. I think it probably would fix that trap. I think that's a fair.
It's got to be a reset button in
addition.
case somebody accidentally broke into the tomb, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, in which case, yes, that is exactly what happens. The sarcophagus lid does close, and you can see that the smog around you starts to clear, slowly but surely.
Okay.
There you go. Edit your campaigns on the fly, guys.
Do it. And pretend that's what you wanted all along.
Yeah, that was a really good idea that I had.
He's just making us feel better about it. Okay, well, I'm going to come across now while Randall's in there doing that, and I want to
Sure.
talk to this wall.
Wall's the most interesting character in the campaign.
Nugget
kinda
is fully convinced that Nugget's wafting is what has done this, and that the smog has now disappeared, and Nugget is 100%
He's all
guaranteed
proud about it.
Does he look
100%
really
this is-
pleased with himself?
Yes, 'cause-
Good boy, Nugget. Give him little ear scratches. What are happy bat noises? Little squeaks?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it must
Okay.
be squeaks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over to the wall that Randall was talking to and just be like, hello?
There is no response.
Oh, he likes me.
I touch it.
Just put your hand against the wall at a very specific point. 2 eyes open.
Oh, hello.
Blink, blink.
Even blinks like a slug.
Oh god, it's a purple interdimensional slug again. Do you talk at all?
Blink, blink.
I'm gonna try it in all the languages I know, which is just Common, Celestial, and Elvish.
There's no response.
That makes sense. That's fair.
I've just realized. So the command for Nugget, so Nugget is Oro's animal companion, because we're using the Unearthed Arcana version of Ranger for Oro. Nugget does have a Scottish accent. Unfortunately, the NPC that these guys are tagging along with them today also has a Scottish accent. So unless Oro casts a spell that allows her to speak to animals, today you will not be hearing Nugget speak. It'll just be Albert. Albert the GIF Hippo Man, who is the NPC tagging along today. They're looking after.
Only wearing a towel.
Apparently.
Sexy Hippo Man.
And the cigar. Don't forget the cigar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it wouldn't be decent without a cigar.
So, rugged. If you start scratching Nugget rolls over on the tummy and just waits for tummy scratches.
Oh, okay, well, I probably got caught up in tummy scratches for a good while. That's fair.
No, one of Nugget's flaws is that they have a tendency to just roll over and look for tummy scratches at the inopportune moments. So
I forget about my idea of talking to the wall and start scratching Nugget's tummy. I was gonna work out a whole blink once, blink with both eyes for yes and don't do anything for no, but now I'm just scratching Nugget's tummy.
2
okay,
hours.
well
passed by.
the smog has 2 hours. The smog is cleared, Randall. So if you want to rejoin Nerily and Nugget and Albert, you're welcome to. You can see that Nerily is was maybe you heard her speaking to the wall, and then apparently she's now scratching
Preoccupied.
Nugget's tummy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there's another button further down.
Yeah. Oh, I might be able to actually see now. I want to, because I've remembered exactly where the tiles are. I want to knock them back out again with my quarterstaff.
Just so you know that they're there. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No worries. No worries.
And then
Helpful for those of us who aren't as good at remembering things.
also for me, because I nearly fell through one before.
That's fair.
And then I assume I can just move back up here.
Yep. Easy enough. Yep.
Okay. These grooves, I want to investigate, or look at the grooves in the walls.
Sure. Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. I'm trying to see if
Albert was rolling his back. Oh my god.
Albert is incredibly jealous right now.
Yeah. You can see that Albert tries to get in on the nugget scratches to just try and be like, oh, well, Nerdy clearly is happy with it. Oh, what a cute little thing. Nugget does not seem to be that into it. In fact, Nugget stops being on their tummy and just kind of rolls back over. No.
I guess he's done.
I'm over it now.
No.
You find anything, Randall?
I don't know, not really.
Oh, no.
These grooves are confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Does something go in them, or do these wall floor bits slide? I don't know.
Do you think more light would help?
Maybe. I've got my drift globe, but
you've got
the drift globe, right?
Yeah, you're happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like being on the surface of the sun down here, and I still didn't see anything.
And he was searching over here in this side.
Yeah.
So Nerly's going to come back over here by the door and kind of search all around this area.
Sure.
Was that investigation then, you said?
Whichever you prefer. Investigation in my mind is a lot more hands-on than perception is. So investigation will reveal things that are more tactile, perhaps in nature, and
sharp.
but also comes along with the risk of touching things.
Okay, I'll do perception then. I don't want to touch it. 23.
This wall has eyes.
I did touch the wall with eyes, but
It's okay. So what is it you're looking for here?
Well, a button, a switch, something etched into the wall that is like this seems to be kind of like a tricksy place, right? So are there any more letters that we didn't notice before because the thing filled up with smoke? Just basically anything that looks like it doesn't belong in the stonework, or any stonework, like if there's a stone that looks like a different color than the rest of them or something like that.
So looking in this vicinity, unfortunately, you don't see anything that stands out. What you do see is the trap that you have already plugged with your dagger in the wall. You can recognize that is most likely something that would have struck whoever pressed the button on the other side of here. Fortunately, you did plug it up and stop it. This wall that has closed down here, this door that came with the button, appears to be pretty sturdy in nature. It's kind of hard to determine just how thick it is. But it doesn't look like it's sustained any damage over age or anything like that. It looks like it's just there. There are no other. I was going to say pristine. There are no obvious switches or dials or doodads. Any grooves, buttons, loose tileage, anything apart from the damage that Nugget did to the floor.
All right, back to everyone on the other side then, I guess.
Well, having the wall that had previously moved, it did move a little bit, but you can. That's plenty of direction for you to explore down there. We'll move back to the other guys. Okay, so if you guys want to move to the north now, I will unblock your vision.
Is there a spork nearby? Did you say there's a spork?
There is a spork. You want a spork?
I want to take a spork. Yeah.
Okay, well, there are multiple copies of every utensil that you can imagine in there. There are a couple of pots and pans as well.
Spork's fine for now. I'm satisfied with the spork.
Okay, cool. So in this room, you can see there is one large sarcophagus at the far end. There are two statues that are holding buttons, but there are also several boxes in here and a few chests. To the southeast of you, you can see there is one large door. This particular one appears to be kind of another double door, and this has the same sigil that you saw on the outside of the tomb. That sigil of the Obaskir royal family. You can also see that there is another door just kind of to your northeast up there. Although that does not appear to be as loose as the other ones that you've seen. You kind of assume that it is locked.
Okay. Did you say the 2 statues had buttons on? Is that what
They do have buttons, yeah. Either side of the sarcophagus to your northwest.
Looks at Haiku.
It's time.
Okay.
straight to the buttons. Oh no! You know what I've done? I've put a bunch of stuff on the fucking lighting layer instead of the. I'm sorry. You've missed out on some of the
lights.
Bleu.
There you go.
Oh,
All things.
nice.
Sorry, I meant to say. I described there as a bunch of like stuff in here, but then I didn't bloody put it on the layer for you.
No wonder my immersion was ruined.
First, I want to have a look for traps on this sarcophagi.
Okay, go for it.
Which I assumed Haiku would help me with. I almost called you Naiku.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yes, you can absolutely 100% without a shadow of a doubt guarantee that there are traps on this thing. There appear to be, once again, at least 2 traps.
There's 2 traps here. We're doing the same again?
Yeah, worked pretty well last time.
Exactly. Let's go.
Okay. Rolls from Haiku, please. We've got so many, all these advantage rolls. It's impossible. Okay. You do manage to, once again, remove the traps that are on the sarcophagus in this corner. It is very likely that there is something that was embedded in the steps that you just walked up to get to here, or walked down, I suppose. It's kind of hard to tell for the perspective here, isn't it? It's probably down.
Yeah, I think it's down.
Down, yeah.
I'd say that's down.
Yeah.
That most likely would have fallen out from underneath you. It's difficult to tell because the nature of these traps is that for the most part there is some kind of wire or like kind of tube, like a copper tube that is quite solid, but for the most part you imagine it's attached to something else on the other end, and you can't follow these through walls and ground. So you're mostly going off of context clues, or in the, like, for example, in the last case, you were looking at symbols that were scrawled on the tubes. Tubes is in like a pipe. In this particular case, it's quite unclear, but you can see that there is a step on it.
I see. Yeah. Tubes.
Don't worry, Tom. I make up for it when I roll dice, no matter if I have advantage or not. So does Katie, to be fair.
Do we press the buttons or do we look in the chests?
Why not both?
Is there any draconic on the statues again?
There is no draconic, no.
Okay. Not sure. What do you want to do?
I want to check the chests for traps.
Sure. Are you using perception or investigation?
Perception.
Okay.
I assume Haiku will help.
Yeah.
Okay. From a pretty thorough visual inspection, there is no evidence that these chests are trapped. In fact, because you rolled highly, I'll spread that to say that the boxes in the room also do not appear to be trapped.
Okay.
Or the kegs.
Okay. They don't look to be trapped, but that doesn't mean there's not not something in them.
So we shouldn't look inside, is what you're saying.
Adam, I imagine the help with perception, especially looking, is the Will Smith meme of showing off the thing.
Absolutely, just now.
That's fine.
Okay, can I investigate the things then?
Sure.
Do I get help from Haiku with that as well?
Yeah, it's allowed.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay. So with a 20 on the investigation on that, what we're going to say, well, how are you helping with the investigation?
Well, it depends on how Oro's investigating them, I suppose.
I mean, so as my understanding of my head canon of what investigation is again, it's more of a tactile thing. It's more involved than just looking. So it doesn't have to be tactile. If you're investigating and the investigation is talking to people to see if you find any information, that's not going up and touching their faces. But it's a bit more involved than just using your eyes or senses, broadly speaking. Ears and nose and whatever. So in my mind, that's more you kind of like just going around looking at some of the boxes and stuff, and just having a little look to see if there's anything in them or anything without necessarily disturbing them too much. Depends on how well you roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, you kind of split up across the room, and you kind of try to gently, without disturbing anything too much, kind of just gently lift the lids and some of the crates and stuff. Bearing in mind you've rolled quite well on your perception, so you're fairly certain there's no traps or anything involved. When you lift the boxes of the lids of these boxes, these crates, just enough, you are hit with a stench of rotting, eons old food. It is, when I say stench, is because it smells horrible, but it's really not as strong as the word stench kind of implies, because you imagine this food probably went off an extremely long time ago. So it smells bad, but it doesn't smell like it's just gone rotten or anything like that. So you imagine that there was some kind of perishable in there, though without opening it, it's hard to tell what exactly it was. And you continue to kind of just look around some of these boxes. And Oro finds the same thing. It appears that many of these boxes seem to have some kind of perishable in there, almost as if this place was stocked with food, perhaps at some point, which kind of somewhat adds up when you've seen cutlery here. You've seen all sorts of strange items in here. But in addition, as you're looking around, Haiku, you start to inspect the chests. And as you get to the chest on the right over here, you place your hand on it just gently to kind of like just move it slightly to kind of inspect the side, just without opening the lid. And you find that your hand is stuck to it.
Alright, I can't take my hand off of it.
Oh, fuck.
And then blink, blink. We're going to roll initiative. And as we roll initiative, what I'd like is for everyone to take a bio break as we do that. All right?
Okay.
Oh, good. I'm
delete
so
all this
glad.
Okay. Right. So we'll put the turn order up so you can roll initiatives. I'm going to pour myself a drink and go to the loo. If you guys are new here, first off, hi, how's it going? Second off, when we do our bio breaks, we do our business and we're back. So
we're already gone, in fact.
We're already done, and let's go already.
Let's go.
So all I mean to imply is that there's
See you later,
fuckos. We'll be back to playing shortly.
Evan, thank you for the 100 bits for see you later, fuckos.
What good timing.
That's excellent. But what I'll do is I'll add these guys to the turn order.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some water. BRB.
Definitely more than one.
What?
Be right back.
Right back, everyone. Go stretch, grab a drink, do all the things you need to do. Does this button mute?
Hello. It's just me. Hello. Kenny's here.
Hello.
Are you ready for it to come home?
Is it coming home?
I mean, it's 1-0.
Oh, bloody hell, it's coming
I know.
home. Get the spare
I-
rooms ready.
It's quite warm here, so I got my big window up, and I heard quite a lot of cheering.
Oh.
It's quite loud.
Tom, it's coming home.
Come on.
Is it coming home?
It's currently in the middle of coming home. It may
Stop saying potentially, Evan. That's really negative.
potentially coming home.
Well, that's something. How close to home is it?
Currently on the M64.
Traffic's terrible though. So.
Is the score like just 1 up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not that close to home.
Yeah.
Potentially close to home.
It's
Just set
medium.
off.
Medium. Goddamn medium.
Wow, that was fast as fuck. Wow. Very quick. Yeah, no, it was this particular stinky stink in the boxes is an old stinky stink that you have just disrupted by poking around.
Shit.
So we'll put Haiku in the correct position to be
Oh yeah.
jumped upon.
I always get crap initiative rolls. I'm happy.
No.
What's your modifier for it? -1.
I'll do
odd.
it.
How crazy. One odd thing to happen. Do the people know the sound alert magic, Jenny?
I've got sound alerts. They're in the panels. You can do sounds for bits.
Well, we did talk about them at the beginning of the stream, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
I pro-mode.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't.
No.
Josh, you want a tower meeting? Right now?
Go quick.
Bio break time. Go for it.
Speedrun tower read. I don't think I've ever used a mimic on you guys.
No.
That's why we didn't suspect anything.
True.
Didn't even cross my mind.
Did it not?
Going
When
mimic
Tom was
buttons
like,
next.
"Are you looking at it or are you are you investigating it?" And I was like, "Looking at it."
Cross my mind. Definitely want to cross haikus. Chests are usually filled with stuff to collect. Not stuff which wants to kill you.
True.
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 Unless I could collect the mimic.
I already gave you a wall mimic in the same game.
Oh, but it didn't attack me. I'm not used to non-aggressive
Relationship.
mimics.
Technically,
Mimics only exist to
mimics are
fight.
technically neutral. They aren't evil.
Oh. But they don't mind being touched in the face.
It just depends on the mimic, doesn't it?
Would you like being touched in the face, Docs? But I call you neutral.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or we getting some.
I'm
of
not
that
sure how often I
sweet
slither
ASMR.
down. Not sure how often I slither down a corridor.
Only on every Tuesday of the month. First Tuesday of the month. Not every Tuesday of the month.
Chickpeas in the kitchen or something. Just hears you on the floor.
Oh, it's Tuesday
Oh,
again.
Oh,
Things you don't find out about until after marriage.
you know.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Chickpea 92. Got a
Oh,
gift.
No way.
Panic, thank you so much for gifting 5 subs out. Hot damn. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Appreciate
That's
it.
very generous. Canic's a good egg.
Good egg. Generous bean. There you go. Also,
Ooh,
good egg,
if you
generous
didn't know
bean.
why people were coming in here and saying beans, is because I put as my go live notification, I said, D&D time, come by and say beans in chat and I'll give you a cozy pet, the pet emote.
Oh.
Oh.
So a couple of people came in here being like, beans. Noticed people were like, what?
Oh, I just thought it was the normal beans meme.
No.
Yeah, I was confused by
I
that.
didn't even
Beans?
think anything was different.
Yeah.
Right, you ready to do the reading?
No,
Do
we'll
it.
carry on. We'll carry on, and I'll. I don't know. I'm shy now.
Oh, okay. You have to do it. Doc's redeemed a tarot reading. So
I have 50,000 points, so I should spend them on something probably.
50,000.
My God, you could redeem
Do that
5
one
sports.
sound alert. Yeah.
Only 5.
That only came up after I redeemed like a bunch of 1-minute doodles for titties, and I still think I made the right choice. But I do like the sound alert. I say just after. I mean like a couple of days, a couple of weeks maybe.
I was going to say it's been ages.
Not that long. All right. Look at the.
Listen,
thing.
time is a social construct.
Okay, so
And
we
we
have
all
our
experience
initiatives
it
for you guys.
Oh, I didn't roll initiative. Should I roll
That's all
initiative?
right. No, you guys don't need to. You are.
Yeah.
Not
We have a
involved.
safety wall between us and the death mimics.
Yeah.
I rolled
Oh.
so poorly. That's not a good omen for the rest of this game for me. I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Easy game.
So
Adam,
weirdly,
congratulations on your
Haiku has the
goblin.
best. Oh no, you've got a
got 2
nugget in there.
Yes, I can. You can delete.
Yep.
Nugget.
No nugget for you. No nugget for you.
Adam, congratulations. I'll mark you down on
Tom
the
made the best
spreadsheet.
choice. Oh yes, Jenny has a spreadsheet of
Spreadsheet of
all of the gobbos now.
Goblin
All the different
spreadsheet.
levels of gobbos. If you guys weren't aware, in our game's canon, there is actually a goblin tribe that lives here somewhere that is filled with goblins that all reflect the people who have redeemed goblin. So if you
We visited
redeem goblin in Jenny's chat, you become a goblin in our game in its lore.
Yes.
And there's just one very sleepy goblin queen who never woke up when they were there visiting them.
Yes,
And
you're
I
on
missed
six
the joke the whole time we were there. Basically. Literally, we were leaving when I was like, "Oh, she's sleepy. I get it now."
So if that appeals to you, there you go. Because when you get to be a gobbo, you get to be like a gobbo with a particular thing, you know? Like a goblin with a big spoon or something. Anyway, so what we're going to do is every time we get to the top of the turn order, we're going to switch back to our other players so that they can continue having their own adventure separate from you guys who are having a fight.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so the top of the turn order, we are going to start with Oro and then Haiku. Oro, you've seen the eyes of this chest open up.
I'm in danger.
Yes, I feel redeemed. I'm in danger. Yeah, I'm in danger.
Perfect. So good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Phil.
That's really good. Oh my god. I love that. That's funny. So the eyes have opened up. Bonk, bonk. But there's no, I mean, actually, what I should really do is, how do you determine surprise in this? I've forgotten how you determine surprise. Is it just an initiative roll?
A surprise
determine
round. If someone
surprise?
is surprised, they get a whole round before the initiative roll.
Yeah, but how do you determine who's surprised?
I think you be the DM.
Yeah, were we surprised?
So,
I mean,
if-
yes, you were definitely surprised. It's just whether there's a mechanic that I should, as the DM, know, but don't, because reading is for wimps and nerds.
Usually it's like perception check against a stealth check because an enemy is sneaking up on you. But when you're using mimics,
Oh,
like
okay.
it's like, did you happen to notice that was a mimic? Because he didn't. He touched, or they didn't. They touched
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no, for sure. No, they definitely didn't know.
So
If you are surprised in combat, the people that are surprised lose their first round to act. Yes, so I'm aware that they don't get a full round. I'm just determining how you determine if someone is surprised or not. Unless they were being sneaky, the
Is
surprise
that
gets
not the
around.
same thing, just in a different way?
yeah,
No.
that sounds like exactly the same thing to me.
No, because that means because if you say that you have a whole round, then it's mechanically different from the fact that you would get to the end. Like people can be not surprised and be like in the turn order in different.
I see. Okay.
Oh, so not everyone. Oh, right, because not everyone might be surprised.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a little bit less confusing wording than the alternative.
Right.
I'm confused if that helps now.
Okay, doesn't matter. So we're just going to go with the yes. Unfortunately, you are surprised, but more unfortunately, you are also adhered to this mimic. This mimic has you grappled because you touched it and you found that you were stuck to its skin, which gives it some bonuses. Thank God for having 3 monitors. The amount of documents I've got open. Do that. Plus this. Oh, my rolls are still fucking terrible. And it makes one of those. Okay. 16 versus armor class for Haiku.
Sorry, let me just remember. Well, by remember, I mean check.
Yeah, 17 or something, isn't it?
17 it is, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what happens is you have your hand stuck to the top of this chest. These eyes open up, and then the lid of the chest opens to reveal that it is filled to the brim with teeth. You can see the fleshy purple insides kind of gurgling and bubbling away as the amalgamation that is this gross form opens wide. More eyeballs pop out of its fleshy chest-shaped skin as its mouth opens and tries to slam down on your other hand. Your adhered hand is now just stuck to this. You are grappled. You can make attempts to escape it, but it closes down, slams in its attempt to bite down on you, but it fails, unfortunately, for itself.
Is my hand like on the lid? Should be
Yes.
like its upper jaw,
Yes.
essentially. Okay.
Well, not its upper jaw. It's like the top of its head.
Upper jaw, yeah.
There's 2 friends in jail. Maybe they'll kiss.
I mean, technically, I suppose, but this is your jaw, so upper jaw would be here.
Okay.
Lower jaw. Or upper jaw, lower jaw.
Yeah, makes more sense, actually.
Okay, right? Upper jaw is just the rest of your head in your mind. Anyway. So, yes, you're attached to the top of its head, I guess, or its upper jaw. Fortunately, it missed you, but you are still stuck to it. You can make attempts to escape if you'd like, but now it's got this glistening eyes and its disgusting purple innards kind of oozing and looking very much like they want to consume you. The other side of the room, after Oro witnesses this horror appear in front of it, she hears a clunk, clunk, clunk as
Oh no.
there is a shit. What's your armor class?
15.
I should know your armor classes, but I don't.
Because reading's for
Okay.
losers and wimps and
yeah, fuck them. Do you guys have your armor class on your tokens? No, you don't. Haiku does. That's what I use for monsters. Okay.
First,
Go.
thank you for the oof fuel. And Evan redeemed the maybe they'll kiss.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, I missed that. I love that idea. Okay, so as you are kind of looking up to, you've walked over to Haiku to be like, the fuck is happening here? And then you've seen this fucking chest has come alive and started to just sprout teeth that look like they want to try and chomp down on your friend. You've heard these clunk clunk noises behind you, and then this weird like pseudo liquid kind of protrusion kind of sails past your hip, and then it kind of just like it like jots out and then goes back in to whatever it was. It kind of looks like the top of a chest, like wooden planks that have been stretched. Like imagine if you got the blur tool on Photoshop or something and you just blurred something in a straight line. It kind of looks like a chest grew an arm for a second and tried to whip you with it, and then it's just gone back into the chest. It kind of imagine that it goes really like low texture, like the resolution's really bad on it, and you can see that like this chest in particular has like some steel like support beam or something on it. That like the thing that lashes out at you still has part of that in it as well. Like it's just like this really weird failure of its polymorph as it kind of tries to like whap out at you, but fortunately for you, you kind of, even without even realizing, it just misses you. You suspect that if it had hit you, that you might be in a similar situation to Haiku. But as we roll around, we're now at the top of the turn order with Oro.
I'd like to stab the one that has Haiku.
You get a chance to stab the one that has Haiku. Mimic numero uno.
Mimic numero uno. Scimitar. Is scimitar a small weapon that I have as like a dagger? Or
Yeah, it's one you can hold one-handed, so you've got a weapon in both hands.
Okay. Right. Dagger. 26.
Yep.
Scimitar. Ooh, 8.
That is a miss, and it's a critical miss as well.
And sneak attack.
Katie knows what she's doing. Yes, you definitely get the sneak attack on that. So you get your, as well as your dagger plus 1 damage. Beautiful.
14.
Beautiful.
You roll a 1d100, please.
Please. 22.
Oh no.
What do you mean?
What weapon was that with? Scimitar?
Yeah, scimitar.
Mighty disarm. Disarmed 1d6 squares away and disadvantage for a round.
Oh shit. Well, fortunately, that was the second attack, so it didn't even apply to the first. If you'd done another attack afterwards, so disadvantage on attacks for the next round. You still managed to do. I removed 22 hit points from the fucking mimic because I saw 22 and I was like, that's a lot.
Seems right.
We roll a d6.
4.
Your scimitar is 4 squares away.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a lot of squares.
Do you want to pick where that is, Tom, or do you want me to pick where that is?
Sure. Fuck it. You do it.
Okay.
That's sure. Like I was going to do it. Now I can give you work to do instead. And I was like, no, fuck that.
1, 2, 3, 4. There.
Hi, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie. How you doing? I dropped.
Okay. So unfortunately, whilst your dagger welded finds itself deeply embedded in the top of this chest, it's a very bizarre circumstance for you because you see this chest and the fact that it's turned into a mimic, it's got horrible teeth sticking out of it. You can see its innards almost, and you can tell that it's not a solid form. But you still stab it, kind of expecting it to be wood. And then when it kind of embeds, the blade embeds in top of the thing, you pull it away and it's purple blood glistening on it. You're like, okay, yeah, no, this is definitely goopy. You can see that its eyes angrily glare at you. Unfortunately, you are kind of distracted by the angry chest looking at you. Like, the fuck is this about? And because of that, you are in your second attack with your scimitar. You loosen your grip for a second, which means that it clangs off of the wall just beside you and bounces onto the upper steps behind you. Very unfortunate, but you still have your Gucci dagger, so we're good.
Phew.
Okay, we're going to move on to Haiku. Let's get through this round.
So, we're investigating when weren't we the chest. So I think
were, yeah.
Context, it would make more sense for Haiku to investigate with his empty hand as opposed to their empty hand as opposed to their gauntlet.
Yeah.
So sort of gauntlet to use.
Yeah.
I think the best option here would be to create a tiny eldritch cannon, the flamethrower, and put it in the mouth of the mimic.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, Tom, reminder about attacking the mimic. Yeah. Well, see, I was unsure about that particular characteristic, Adam, because it says it has a particular word in it. Actually, no, it has a couple of particular words in it that make me think that what you're thinking is not what happens. Is the word chocolate? Unfortunately, it's not that. Hi, chickpea. So I don't think that's what happens. I think I would also read that and think that that's what's happened, but I don't think that's what's happened. What Adam is alluding to, he might be saying something else, is that the fact that you touched the chest and your hand got stuck to it is a particular characteristic of the mimic. I think Adam is suggesting that if you were to attack, because it says anything that touches it, and it says a huge or smaller creature adhered to the mimic is also grappled, blah, 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 blah. But it seems to me that that is kind of an initial, you touched the chest, haha, idiot, now you're stuck to it, and not your dagger's stuck in it, you're fucked. I don't think that was its intention. So we're gonna go with rules as intended. Or at least, I mean, I'm gonna roll with this, but I appreciate your.
You're the DM. You make the rules.
Yeah. I don't think that's what they intended. I feel like having one mimic with several swords stuck in its head would be a bit of a strange situation for this particular monster. But anyway, plus that's object form only. That's not its normal attack. But I don't really know. Anyway, you want to make a flamethrower and stick it in its gob?
Yeah, so that would be my action and bonus action.
Okay, please feel free to roll any attacks.
Each creature in the area must make a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Which is 14.
And what's it making a dexterity save throw? Sorry, did you say dexterity saving throw?
Yeah.
Brain's working slow today. We got a 7.
Okay.
I'm rolling really shit.
Let's take 2d8 fire damage.
Hey, Nick.
Hi, Nick. Okay, so you bring out your flamethrower. Would you want to describe what this looks like?
I think I've before, yeah. It's literally like it extends out the gauntlet, you know, a small little barrel pops out the gauntlet and just starts spewing flames everywhere.
Beautiful. How does
it also sets anything on fire that's flammable? I don't know if
I think that's supposed to be more like you destroy paper.
Flammable.
Yeah, I think it's more like you destroy paper and kill cobwebs and stuff.
Yeah.
These sound alerts. I'm so glad that they're happening.
Thank you.
So you fill this mimic with flame that starts pouring out of its orifices. You realize now that mimics have ears.
Oh god.
And you can see scorch marks on the inside as it takes how much damage in total did you say?
10.
10 points of damage. Okay, you can hear kind of wails that come from it, but they're not in any decipherable language. They now get their turn. That's definitely a hit against Taiku, and then the other one comes over here and gives Oro a shot. And oh no, it doesn't get advantage against you. The only other one gets advantage against Haiku. You just missed a critical hit because I rolled too many times. In fact, it misses Oro, but it does hit Haiku.
Oh.
Ooh. I was so confused by me typing what I just typed in there. I rolled well on this one. You take 17 points of damage. as this mimic goes for a second bout. As its mouth is still wreathed in flame, you can kind of get a little bit of like the heat from this in itself is like coming back on you a little bit. This is a really cool image that I have in my mind of you just being like, fuck. And then as you're like trying to do that, it clasps down on your hand and bites you for 17 points of damage. The
17.
fire still burning inside of it. The other mimic has bounced its way over to Oro and has made an attempt to kind of snap at her legs, but has once again failed. Stupid ass mimic. And with that, we will move to the top of the turn and our friends outside. You have had a little bit of a while to think about what you want to do. You know that the wall mimic is now seems amicable for the most part, is able to move around a little bit. What do you want to do?
And we've touched this door, and we know that it's not like an illusion, right?
Correct. It's also not got eyes.
And Nugget tried to scratch their way through it.
And we've pressed all the buttons.
Yep.
Was there another room that the mimic door has like sealed off from us?
There's a whole other half of this burial mound.
Oh yeah, explored. No, I know, but we can't currently get out. So I'm still trying to figure out how we're supposed to do that.
You can continue asking the wall to move politely as you did before.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We can just try that and start pressing other buttons and see what happens.
Okie dokie.
So
you want to go back over to our mimic friend?
Yeah.
Place your hand on it and say very nicely. Was it Randall that did it last time that made it work?
It was Randall. Yeah, I'll let Randall do it. And I'll guidance him just in case.
Please, Wall. It'd be really kind if you could move backwards for us.
Could you roll persuasion
sir,
for
can
me?
you move some more?
Sir, could you move some more? Do I get a thingy for that, right?
You get you're not advantage, but you get guidance.
I guidance you, so a D4.
Very persuasive for a Wall.
Oh, okay.
Not for anything else, but for Wall.
-1. Still managed to roll well though. Damn.
All walls are at my beck and call.
Blink, blink. The wall mimic, its eyes open, and this time you can kind of tell that it's a little like again. You can kind of tell that it's shivering, shaking a little bit, quaking almost. But as you you look gently and kindly into its eyes and say, "Hey, could you move, please?"
Hey,
now I feel like it's shivering in a different way, and I'm
nope,
not.
It was definitely not. No,
it was I also mime it at the same time, so it definitely understands me.
Yep.
Moving backwards.
It moves backwards. It gets out of your way. Thank you very much, Mimic Wall. It is moved to cover a different doorway.
Wait, were there traps? Were there fully hole bits back here?
No, I think that was new to this zone.
Okay.
When did Randall become Dundragon? That's been his surname forever.
Literally forever. Maybe the names weren't showing up before, but it has.
Yeah, I made sure the tokens actually show the surnames now.
Oh, is this door closed now?
Yes.
Oh.
The mimic is covering that one.
Could Nugget have visuals?
Yeah.
So that
Are you not getting it?
No, I can't see past.
Okay. Vision on.
Is that
all right? Is that working?
Thank you.
Oh, I can't see any of that. If I'm meant to or not.
You can't see what?
I can't see any of that that I've gone into. I assume I'm not meant to.
You can't. Well, you can't see what they're seeing.
You don't have shared vision on?
Because he's on the other side.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Oh, I can see everyone. I can see everything everyone can see.
I've just gone into a void for me.
Is it because?
I can see over there too, actually.
Is it because now can you see?
Yeah, now I can.
It's because you got to bring the stones with you. I don't know why that's happening, but bring the stones with you.
Don't forget your stones.
It's like Haiku doesn't have shared vision with the rest of us.
Could you see it, Jenny?
No, that's why I asked for Nugget to be given vision.
Oh!
Yeah, there's
Why
like some
in the
shared vision
fuck?
shit.
But you guys can see what's going on.
Yeah,
in
I
the
can
other
see
room.
what Haiku and Aru are doing. I can see everything in there.
That's weird.
Maybe it's because I'm one with the walls.
Could be.
It's true.
What?
Randall, friend of walls.
What do I have? I've got that set to the wrong thing. I genuinely don't know what setting it is. That doesn't matter. I'll figure that out some other time. No worries.
So this
Roll20
is
is a spotty
the
record with dynamic lighting, unfortunately, but it's working pretty well most of the time. I'm going to assume for now that this is a me thing. This is something that I haven't noticed before. But you guys can see everything now. Each year's good. So that door you stood there is the entryway.
Is that still closed?
It is currently closed. Yeah.
Is it like damaged?
There is a small gap in the floor now that you can see is a crack in the wall that's letting a little bit of light in.
Big yikes.
Whoa, is this another statue
To the right
with
here, yes, there is
Yeah.
a statue that's holding a button. This one also has some text scrawled on it.
Is it also draconic?
It is, unfortunately.
Go back and yell through the wall. Hey, Haiku, what does XIII mean?
There is a
left
door.
Squiggly thing, right squiggly thing, squiggly thing mean.
There's a what?
There's a door just to the south of you there, just on your right-hand side if you were looking towards that statue, that you can see is somewhat loose.
The door is loose?
Yeah.
Should we try going in the door first, or should we try pressing the button first?
The handwriting. Oh, there's also something that I forgot to describe, which is quite, which might paint this in a slightly different light.
Okay.
It's a key thing that I missed out here is that at the bottom of this statue is a skeleton
Okay.
of a dragonborn
Oh.
that you can
Excellent.
tell because of the shape of the head. And the writing that is done here is the difference between the contrast to the other ones is that this is in all caps. And seems to have a lot of what would otherwise you imagine be exclamation marks, and it's underlined 100 times. You can also see on the wall that there are kind of tally marks.
None of this means anything to me.
So, so the writing on the statues, now that I've seen the other ones and then this one, do I think that that's not necessarily part of the original design and that this person was making notes?
You do assume that the writing that so far has been this particular person making notes, yes.
Okay, that's good to know. Now we'll trust the notes from now on.
But don't trust this note because
Well, we don't know what this one says. But the all caps and the underline tells me that I don't want to push it until we can read it. So, can I look at the door and see if I see any of the trap-like things that Oro and Haiku are dealing with?
You can have a little look at the door, see if you can notice anything that looks trappy. You'll also notice that the skeleton of the Dragonborn appears to have some tattered leather strewn about the place as if it were wearing it, and a small satchel upon their person.
Ooh.
There is a very dulled, rusted dagger in a sheath on its hip.
Definitely going to go through the satchel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the satchel, you find a thieves' kit.
Oh, we've got another one. Yes.
It's a handful of gold pieces, like maybe 5 or 10 gold pieces in there. Let's say 10, because let's be generous. Why not?
I mean, yeah, I've only got 16, so...
That's why we go dungeon delving. Hi, Stroey. How's it going, buddy?
There's something wrong with your dynamic lighting here, by the way,
Fuck me.
because I can see through that.
What
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck? Let's go back to the dynamic light. There's nothing to. There's no gap there at all.
I wonder if it's just really, really thin, and that might be.
There's like a solid line there.
Oh.
There is nothing that you should be able to see here.
Yeah, it like starts like here to here.
There is like a black line through the middle of it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there like a dark bit in the middle, but I can see.
Oops, sorry, I
it.
didn't
Oh,
mean
is
to
this
go
from
in
the
there.
other end?
Is it fixed now?
Oh, is it this bush here?
No.
Oh, never mind. I found it. It's this bush.
The bush?
Oh.
This is the all-seeing bush.
There
The
you go.
all-seeing
Sorry,
bush.
that bush should be my person, technically.
No, that's my own fault. I should have. That door shouldn't be visible. There should be a dynamic lighting layer through there. But there wasn't, and that's my fault. Everything's fine now.
I'm going to
Do-do-do.
take 5 of the gold pieces and give them to Randall and
Okay.
try to make a mental note to remember to split them with everyone later.
Wait, did you say you only have 16?
Yeah.
Randall immediately gives you the 5 you've just given him.
Okay. I don't remember what I spent money on. I think it was all the tapestry stuff. I had to buy the yarn.
That's right. That's why we go dungeon delving. I'm sure you'll find some money in here.
Yeah,
Because of the camera.
surely. We'll definitely do that. Okay,
Eyes
well, the
left.
door looked fine to me, right?
Yes, it does look fine to you. 100%.
Is it a push door or a pull door?
It's a push door.
I'm just going to like kind of look at Randall and be like, looks fine and it's kind of already open, and push it and probably die.
You die.
They didn't give her like time for reaction. Just like looks fine, push.
So you can I can move the dynamic lighting thing there. Bloop. As you push the door open, you can there's a faint unpleasant aroma in here. That is accompanied by what you can see as there's a sarcophagus in here, but there also appears to be a what is the proper terminology for it? I will say it's not an outhouse.
A
It's an
privy.
in-house.
It's a privy.
No.
A shitter.
It's a
Toilet.
shitter. I want to say toilet because that kind of
A bench.
Open.
I was
Open
dying to
toilet.
say Ben.
there's a toilet in here next to a sarcophagus.
It's kind of
Very
look at
odd
Randall.
thing to find in a.
You know, it's kind of weird, the stuff that we're finding in here. You would think it would just be dead people, but there's like toilets and
It's like someone lived here. Or
maybe they
lives here.
didn't really die at first and they built the place to hide out in because they were scared and then did eventually die.
The only thing that you've seen so far that has been disrupted in any way is this toilet next to this corpse.
It's been heavily
Well,
disrupted.
it's a crypt also that's full of traps. Like, I don't know what the dead person was worried about them finding their dead body. Like, it just seems weird to Neurally
Sure.
that, like, you know.
Maybe they
yeah.
didn't want anyone to find this. Maybe that's what all the traps are for.
That's what it was.
Very shy pooper.
So is the toilet this thing, this little chest looking thing? Or
The chest, that's the toilet, the little chest looking thing.
okay.
I'm going to use the stench bench as a mimic in my next game.
Stench binge. Oh god.
Must be royalty. It has a throne. Nice.
Well, I guess we should just push the button. No, maybe not. Maybe we should
No,
keep
should we-
looking.
Yeah, let's keep looking. I don't trust any of these buttons.
Okay, we can keep going.
Albert's kind of walking behind you like, are we not pushing that one? The last one we pushed seemed bad.
Yeah. So you kind of answered your own question, there, didn't you, Albert?
The ones before that seemed to be about progression, did it not? And this one was just a particularly bad. Maybe it was just a one-off. Can you read that? The text on it. Did you read it?
No. Can
No,
you
what's
read
it say?
I can't read it, but it's next to a dead body.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was
Probably
really interesting, and they wanted to read it forever.
Yes, that was it.
That was just a wee little joke to lighten the mood a little bit. Since
Wait, I don't get. Why was it a joke?
That's it's all right.
I thought it was probably a warning, like he died riding it.
Oh, no, you're right. He might have died. Yeah, he might have. Yeah.
Well, he's dead, so.
He is dead. Yeah. No,
And it might be presumptuous, but everything seems to be in. Did Haiku actually tell us it was draconic?
yes.
Okay. All the writings in draconic and they're dragonborn. So it probably was somebody who died making notes so that the next person wouldn't.
Maybe that might be right. There's some tallies on the wall, so maybe they're counting the days.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Do you still have your quarterstaff, Randall?
Yep.
I just
crows.
realized that we should probably be checking the floor here too. Will you do that? Haiku has mine.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just like tap tap.
Also, you should
Before I
definitely be the one having to make the deck saves of the two of us. 'Cause I can bring you back
Hang on.
and I can't make them. So
Tap tap.
I'm honking out my window.
couldn't hear the
Hole
honking.
Is that goose? Gooses.
Goose.
Honk, 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 honk,
Grummy
honk, honk,
goose.
honk, honk. Okay.
Tap tap tap.
There's no
tap,
tiles that seem like they're.
tap.
As you said, tap, a honk went off. Very glad I closed my window. Why are they honking? Shouldn't they be inside watching football?
Maybe that's why they're honking.
You said it was half time, didn't you? Maybe it's half. Is that how long is half time? I don't know or care.
Minutes.
To the north of you here is another statue.
What?
Crazy, I know. I need to just double check the lighting on this particular door. Not that it really matters, but just to be safe. But you can see that the door to the right has been somewhat kind of dislodged. You make and I also hiccup at the same time.
Oh my god.
That was
You make
weird.
My hiccups are always very powerful. I'm sorry. It's my robust diaphragm.
But you also heard you heard a general rumbling of a door opening on this side of the crypt earlier after a button was pressed.
That's true, we did.
There is another statue directly in front of you with a button outlaid
Oh,
and a door to your left, which is currently locked.
I take a step back here and I look behind us on the wall for another arrow murder hole thing.
There is no arrow murder hole.
Okay,
Excellent.
I walk back over here. Peek in.
Just an arrow serious injury hole.
Right here.
So the door on the left is the one that's closed. The door on the right is the one that's open, and you can just about see in there if you'd like.
Yeah.
Be sure to bring your bushes with you so that the other players can see.
I have dark vision. Oh, so the other players can see.
Yeah.
Do.
Oops.
My God.
Oh, there's a bunch of them in here. Oh, I don't like this.
Oh,
Is
this
there
is
any
big
writing
room.
on this one?
There is no writing on this one.
There's no writing
there-
on this one.
Is there a labut?
Button?
There is a button, yes.
Should we
You
press
look
the
at its
button?
butt.
There's no writing on it, so it's probably not bad, right?
There's no writing or corpse, therefore button must be safe, right? That's
Or wait, the last one said this one. Maybe the other button was like, for the love of everything, press this one, not the other one.
You can see the statue has a nice butt.
but the one that said this one wasn't the one to press.
No, the other one that had a note said, oh yeah, the first one said don't press this one.
No, the first one said, God fucking damn it.
Oh. That's right.
The other one said, this
It's hard
one,
to
and
read.
and that fixed the traps.
I think we should press the one with the writing on it.
And the writing and the corpse.
Yeah, because he was waiting by it, right? Like For the first one was a swear,
Maybe.
and the second one was like, press this button.
Maybe because they pressed the button and a door closed behind them and they got trapped.
Maybe it says, don't press this one.
I pressed the button.
Which one did you press?
The one in front of us.
Okay.
Okay. So, hand on the button. You hear
They
a
have
crunch.
consigned us to death.
You hear a crunch and a sliding noise behind you. And then the floor shakes, the walls shake, and behind you, all you hear is a rolling and a crunch and another roll. And then just behind you, you see this massive fucking boulder just
It's not this one.
just fall into the corridor directly behind you and passes you. It passes right past this little corridor you're stood in and just
Easy.
rolls all the way down the corridor behind you. The grooves at the bottom of the wall make a little bit more sense to you now.
So that was going to kill whoever was standing behind the person pressing the button.
But I knew that. And no one was stood behind us, so it was fine.
So we should go press the other button now, probably. Well, should we go see if that door opened first?
There is
I heard some
also
grinding sound.
another grinding sound that is associated slightly later. And our friends who are currently in combat in the other room will see that this door unlocks.
What door?
One. Oh,
This
that one. Okay.
I can't see where he's pinging.
Oh, I'm doing it on the object layer. That one.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Dynamic lighting is hard. Tommy, you need to
That
have
was
an
just
elevator room with many buttons. I actually, weirdly, now that you say that, I actually did have a room like that planned for a different campaign that never happened. So it might show up at some point. It was a good room as well.
It's like that Wonka Vader. Goes upways and
Yeah.
downways and sideways and slantways.
Get long
Takes
ways.
a big murder hole to hold a giant
short
boulder. That was what the initial
Hi,
sliding
Rift.
was. The initial sliding was the open here for boulder to fall out of.
Mm-hmm.
The boulder, as you kind of watched it slide past, was perfectly aligned to the walls and it was massive. It was like, 10 foot across almost. Just rolling all the way down. And you listen out to it, and eventually you hear a clunk, and it just kind of stops rolling somewhere.
You know, I understand that this person's name was the Paranoid, but I don't understand why you have all these traps around your body when you're dead. They were paranoid about dying, right? Wasn't that the story?
Perhaps they had some kind of treasure they didn't want anyone else to get their hands on.
Why do they care they're dead?
Well, I feel that maybe being dead, we all know that that's not the end, right? They've got legacies.
But
Maybe
if you live on in some other form, then the treasure is still here.
Well, some people really like treasure. Your friend Haiku might not want their treasure to be found by anyone else after they perish.
But why? You can't use it anymore.
Well, you're a very sensible person, nearly, but I hate to say that not everyone's very sensible.
I'm gonna go press the other button.
It's just one.
You're so sensible. I'm going to press the other button.
Wait, but this one just launched a boulder.
Okay, let's go see if the door opened up. I'm just gonna quick move because I
Oh,
see
you're
all
okay.
this.
Well, bring your bush with you so everyone can see
Oh.
what you get.
Sorry.
Yeah, bush with you. Jeez.
Don't leave
Alright,
your bush
sorry.
behind.
I forget because I have the dark vision, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so this is still closed.
That is still closed, yeah.
Okay. Stomp over here and press the button.
I'm just
Wait,
stand
before I
really
press
close
it-
to the statue.
Before I press it, I'm looking
Yeah.
for another arrow hole over here.
There's no arrow hole.
Okay.
I'm looking for a boulder slot.
Okay.
Press the button.
There's no boulder slot. All right, so you press this button, and you hear another crunching roll, as the entirety of the floor behind you falls into nothingness.
Well, we're dead.
Should we just briefly move that so you can just see?
It was don't press this one.
That's why they were here, stuck, counting the days.
And on that, we'll move over to our other team elsewhere. We'll do one round of combat, maybe two if we can get it in before Katie needs to move, because I know you've got to end a little bit early today, right?
Yeah, I've got about 12 minutes. And then I've
Okay,
gotta
so
go
maybe
take someone to the airport.
one round of combat then.
We'll see how much.
So the top of the turn order, we've got Oro. You've lost your scimitar, but your Gucci dagger's still in one hand. If you've got another one, you can always pull it out.
Yes.
Unless you want to move and grab another.
No, I have another dagger, so I'm just going to get that out.
Okay.
Ha
2 daggers.
Gonna do a stabby stab. Stabby stab.
That's 2 hits.
Boop, boop. Sneak attack. 16.
Oh, that is precisely the amount of health that this mimic has. Absolutely precisely. You want to describe this?
I want to stab him in the eyes. Both of them.
So weirdly enough, this actually has maybe like 8 eyes across the top of it. Like all of them just like dots along the mouth. Do you want to go for the 2 biggest ones? Or
You said there were going to be no spiders. It doesn't have 8 eyes. It doesn't.
It has 7 eyes.
7 or 9.
There we go.
The 2 big ones.
Because the 8 eyes is what makes a spider. Is the precise number of eyes that it has. It has 7 eyes. You want to go for the 2 biggest ones? I mean, it's dead, Jenny. So if you want to stab all of them,
sure. Whilst we're here,
whilst you're here, just go for all of them. You know.
I look at the other one behind me and I'm like, you see what you see? Don't fuck with me. Stabbing every single eye.
Okay, you just go absolutely fucking ham and turn this this fleshy chest sack into, well, that's a weird phrase to have used, into a pincushion of just your daggers just piercing its flesh. Purple juice and goop just bleeds out onto the floor and makes a squealing, anguished noise.
Sweet poon gun.
Its teeth kind of falling out of the liquid form onto the floor underneath it.
Thanks, Evan, for redeeming sweet, sweet poon gun.
These sound so good. No, because 7, 8, 9. So I love that you've clipped the sensible thing. That does really need to be a highlight, doesn't it? Just Albert being like, "You're quite sensible," and then you hear me, "I'm gonna go press the other button," and it's a trap. You notice how in all of the other situations, I've had Albert on the outside in the hallway, making sure to avoid anything, but this time decided to stay with you because I didn't want you to have to deal with the fact that Albert, if we put him in the sensible place, would have either been crushed by a boulder or fallen into the abyss with no dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, I appreciate us not accidentally tangentially killing the quest giver. That would be disheartening, to say the least.
Okay, so you've just absolutely annihilated this mimic, and you look into the eyes of the other mimic. Haiku. Fortunately, you want. Well, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to say that you are still adhered to the lid of this chest because it's funny. So your hand is still stuck. The worst part is you've just seen Oro stab it to death.
Yeah, like around your hand.
I like even more that there's like just lines of stab wounds throughout the fingers.
Yeah,
like
like
5-finger fillet.
Yeah. But what do you want to do?
So I'm still stuck to the dead mimic.
Yes, you are. Yep.
I mean, I have an idea I would like to run by you, but I don't know if it'll be allowed.
I'm listening. Have you got inspiration? Because that's usually what that's for.
No, I haven't.
Then
I
maybe
don't
not.
think I do anyway.
Let's see.
No, I don't.
Usually, if the quest giver dies, then it's quest failed.
That's a different word for complete.
It is so complete.
That's the most completionist thing you've ever said. Fucking hell. All right, what's this idea, Jack?
So I'm stuck to the mimic.
Yeah.
However, if I were to cast levitate on the mimic, the dead one, that would make it substantially easier to move.
It would, yes.
And then so I could just turn on the spot and flame the other mimic, effectively using the dead mimic as a shield.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
No.
Yeah, sure. Because essentially what it'll do is it'll give you half cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine with me.
Fucking weirdest shit.
Yeah, so
It always happens right near the end of the episode as well, or the end of the session.
So yeah, I'll cast levitate on the dead mimic. So in my right hand, there is suddenly a very easily...
Is that your action?
That would be my action.
Yeah, okay.
Very easily movable.
Super easy, yeah. No issue at all, yeah.
Mimic.
Floppy, bleeding carcass of a chest-formed mimic.
Yeah.
Its tongue gangling out, oozing everywhere. Its dead, lifeless eyes stare at you as you wangle it around.
Yeah.
Wangle.
Wangle. I was about to type that.
So I'm going to turn around, sort of maneuver the dead mimic in front of me, sort of prop my other hand to the side of the dead mimic, I would say, and flame around it to the alive mimic.
Yeah.
You would need to make a dexterity save. I think. Yeah.
15.
Oh, so you take half damage.
Wait, what? It had to what? It had to roll above a 14?
Yeah, well, you make a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC, which is 14.
Why
And then
is
it takes half as much damage.
14? Is your casting thing not intelligence?
It should be.
My spell save's 16.
Yeah, mine's only 14.
What's your intelligence?
17.
17.
Oh, that's why.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes half damage.
Still high, though. That's still high.
Yeah.
All right, half damage.
So good luck halving 9.
We round up.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So you kind of... It's janky at first because you need to... You're maneuvering your shield in front of you, but you do still manage to spray your flame into the face of this remaining mimic. Unfortunately, not hitting Oro as you do so. And now you have a dead mimic shield.
Yeah.
Kind of want to turn this into a legitimate thing, but that's also just a weird concept.
I mean, it's going to end up on the shell, right? Given that it's self-adhesive.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Giant mimic.
Just stuck to you forever.
Oh my god. Okay,
Well,
well,
dark path with high
before we end here, we're going to go for one attack against Oro. 23 against armor class, so it does hit. And then it does... 10 points of damage to Oro as it as its flaming form embeds its disgusting teeth in your leg after you are distracted stabbing the other one. You turn around and it's got malice in its eyes as you've just killed its partner. And it...
Oh no.
Yeah, the wall is its
The
baby.
life partner. Oh no. Oh. Don't tell us they have names now.
I'm sorry, they don't have a language. I checked to see if you guys were going to be able to communicate.
Dadik, and Babik.
Oh.
Clear. Dadik is dead. Right. Well,
I'm really glad we were nice to the baby.
Yeah, that's right. Later on, it will find out.
But I was nice to it. And it'll remember.
That's right. You'll have left by the time it finds out.
Nick will remember this.
Babik. Right. So we will call our session to an end there because Katie's got stuff that she needs to do. But we currently have half of our party stabbing mimic partners to death. The other half
Ruining families.
Trapped behind
Forever.
a pit.
We're not trapped.
At least we have a
Nugget's
toilet.
gonna fly over and press the button.
We've got our plan relies on a very stupid bat.
And if he can't do it, I will.
Can you remind me what the intelligence is?
Nugget?
Yeah.
-4.
Okay, maybe I'll do
-4.
it.
Love it. Love it. Very happy with that. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't even have to fly, actually.
Do you not have to fly?
No, because I can Misty Step.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Weirdly enough, the abyss grows by like 10 feet. goes around the corner and you can't see it anymore. Oh, how strange. Okay. I can't wait for the game of charades that they have to play.
Just bring back the fog.
The fog's gone, unfortunately. I went with that very good solution that Docs pointed out. The should fix the fog by pressing the trap fix button.
Global trap
And
fix.
why would a dungeon for a dead person who is actually just a mausoleum also have a trap fix button? There's so much that's confusing me. Well, nearly.
Maybe there's so much that will be explained as time goes on.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Maybe
But
it's 'cause they
currently,
wanted to make a name for the paranoid, and they didn't call themselves the paranoid.
they weren't actually the paranoid one at first. They're just like living up to the legend.
It's actually the Orbuscus family who don't want anyone to come in here and find this information. So they made up the paranoia story and then brought all of the built all the traps.
Who the Obuscus was.
Or the Obusca, whoever they are.
The Obuscia.
Obuscia. That was close.
That was close.
Oh,
I thought it was the same.
Now I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly because I've got your
Obusker.
pronunciation has tainted mine.
A busker is
Obuskia.
someone who plays like the violin on the street.
Yeah,
Like
we have
for
buskers
tips.
too.
Yeah. Well, they looked confused, so I was like, maybe you didn't know the term busking. I would say that that's not exactly like
No, I was
in
just confused
America.
as to
The
his-
average reading level is 5th grade, and I think that a lot of people don't know the term busking. So
Oh,
you know,
okay. Oh, really? Okay. Anyway, very good game, everyone.
yeah.
I'm glad we had some fun with traps. It's been a while since I've thrown like a proper big number of traps at you guys, let alone a mimic or 3. So that was some fun. I'm glad that I did suggest that maybe you push the mimic a little bit further, because we probably would have just had a few very frustrated players sat on this side of the door doing fuck all.
Yeah.
for
See you
2.5
later,
hours.
fuckos.
But also thank you very much to the I was literally about to say thanks for everyone who's been using the bit sound alerts because they've really been very funny. They've been very good. Right, that's the end of our game. Thanks for everyone who's been watching. Thanks for all of our players. It's been a pleasure as always. Once again, thanks to everyone who's been contributing prompts as well. They've been really good. What do you want to do, Jenny?
Put that in chat. There you go. If you have any prompt ideas, put them in there. And that's it. We'll see you next week, I think. Probably. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to raid or anything? No prime
one to
suspects? No? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
See you next week. See you later, fuckos. There we go.
See you later, fuckers.
Bye.
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 But that one for free.